Hello everyone, I'm Heidi from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you the Emperor's Crown from our Chinese aesthetic series, the Huaguan hanging ornament. It is divided into two parts, the crown body and decorations. First, we'll complete the crown body, then attach the decorations. Let's start crocheting the crown body. We'll begin with the chain ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise outward from the center. Finally, finish and fasten off. Let's see the chart. In the chart, our plus number indicates the round number. The stitch instructions column describes the stitches and increases or decreases. When working the current round, the total stitches column shows the total number of stitches after completing that round. The stitches used include single crochet, SC2-in-1 chains, and slip stitches. Now, please watch as I demonstrate. For better visibility, I will use thicker yarn for the demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the charts. The starting is 12 ch. Slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring. This means you first make 12 chains, then slip stitch into the first chain to form a circle with the chains. First, take the corresponding color of yarn. To start the chain ring, wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger once. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Hold the hook in your right hand. Place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot doesn't count as one stitch. Slightly tighten. Now start crocheting chains. Yarn over and draw through. One chain is completed. This braid represents one stitch. The loop on the hook doesn't count as one stitch. Continue crocheting chains. Yarn over and draw through. This is the second stitch. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting 10 chains. After completing, you can see that, on the right side, the chain forms a V-shaped braid. Encircle the chains. With the right side facing you, pay attention not to twist the chains. Then work one slip stitch into the first chain. Ensure all the right sides of the chains are facing up, aligning the beginning and ending. Insert the hook into the back loop of the first chain. Work one slip stitch. Insert. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook. One slip stitch is completed. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch used for joining does not count as a stitch. Pull tight directly. The slip stitch is not indicated in the chart. When crocheting in rounds, always finish by joining with a slip stitch and pull tight. This completes the chain ring. Now move on to the first round. X, V, times 6. Parentheses indicate a group. Times several indicates the number of times to repeat the group. Start with one chain. This serves as the beginning chain for the single crochet. The beginning chain for the single crochet does not count as a stitch. Next, insert into the insertion point of the slip stitch and make one single crochet. This is the stitch technique indicated by X. Insert the hook. Place the starting tail of the yarn above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through in once. This completes one single crochet. There is a V-shaped braid at the top right. It is the stitch of a single crochet. The V is for SC2 in 1. That means making 2 single crochets in the same position. Then pick the top loop of the left chain. Make 2 single crochets. One SC2 in 1 is completed. Following this, work in the method of 1 single crochet and 1 SC2 in 1. Repeat this 4 more times. Including the previous 2 times. A total of 6 single crochets and SC2 in 1 have been crocheted. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Finally, slip stitch to the first single crochet. That is, the second braid on the left side of the yarn tail. 1, 2, it's this stitch. If you really cannot tell, you can count back the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 5. 18. It's still this stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over and draw through all the loops on the hook. Then pull tight. The first round is now complete. You can trim off the excess yarn tail from the chain ring. Continue crocheting round 2. In the chart, it says 2x. The number before x indicates how many stitches you need to work. Start with 1 beginning chain. Let me emphasize again. At the beginning of each round, you need to make a beginning chain. I won't repeat this for subsequent rounds. In the first stitch of the previous round, work 1 SC2 in 1. This is where you insert your hook for the slip stitch. Work 2 single crochets here. Then move to the corresponding stitch on the left. Continue to work 2 single crochets in each. This completes the V2X. Let me demonstrate this again. Start with a SC2 in 1. Then work 2 single crochets. This is the second time. For this round, you need to repeat the V2X 6 times. For the remaining 4 repetitions, follow the method of 1 SC2 in 1 and 2 single crochets. Finally, slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. This completes the second round. You can see that the texture on the right side is more distinct. The wrong side appears more blurred. While crocheting, keep the right side facing you at all times, from the 3rd round to the 10th round. The crochet method is relatively simple. The stitches used have been demonstrated in detail previously. The meaning of the stitch instructions is similar to before. Just follow the stitch order in the chart and repeat the corresponding number of times. Let me explain this part. In the chart, R9, R10, even 60x means for the 9th and 10th rounds. 1 single crochet in each stitch, with 60 stitches per round. When crocheting, don't forget to make the beginning chain and slip stitches. This is a small sample, where I crocheted several rounds evenly. Crocheting evenly will make the piece naturally curl. Adjust the piece so that the right side faces out. Here, let me show you how to count the rounds. On the right side of the piece, there are raised textures. The number of these raised texture circles indicates how many rounds have been completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This means 7 rounds have been completed. Moving forward, follow the method we learned earlier. Refer to the chart. Continue crocheting until you finish 10 rounds. Move on to round 11. I will continue demonstrating with this small sample. The small sample has fewer rounds and stitches. It only demonstrates the method. Refer to the chart for specifics. This round is worked into the back loops only. Each stitch consists of 2 strands like this. The strand closer to you is the front loop. The strand closer to the outside is the back loop. Now, we will pick up the back loop of each single crochet to work. The first stitch is made in the slip stitch. Pick up 1 strand and make a single crochet. Continue working single crochets evenly into the back loop. End with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Round 11 is now completed. As you can see, a row of small horizontal bars forms on the right side. For rounds 12 to 13, continue picking up stitches and crocheting. Please complete these rounds on your own. After completing the last stitch of round 13, fasten off. I'll demonstrate the fastening off method using this small sample. First, work 1 slip stitch. Do not pull it too tight. Stretch the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. From the second stitch on the left side, draw the yarn tail to the wrong side. Then, from the center of the slip stitch braid, draw the yarn tail to the wrong side again. Slightly tighten. This keeps the braid texture consistent on both sides. Finally, weave in the ends on the wrong side. That's how you fasten off. Next, I'll continue to demonstrate round 14, using this small sample. Pick up the new yarn. Here, I'll use a different color for the demonstration. It makes it easier to watch. Make a slip knot. Turn the piece. Ensure the center of the chain ring is facing up. Find the small horizontal bar near the slip stitch. Insert the hook and pull through the slip knot. Adjust the size. Make sure the knot is not visible. Start with 1 chain. The beginning chain doesn't count as 1 stitch. Then work single crochets into the corresponding horizontal bars for the round. Finish with a slip stitch. For round 15, work single crochets evenly. Finally, fasten off using the same method as round 13. That concludes the demonstration of the crown body. Next, we will make the decorations. These include the top hat decoration, hanging string, pendant tassels, assembly, and edge decorations for the brim. We will proceed with making and attaching them in order. Let's start by making the top hat decoration. I'll demonstrate using this small sample. I will only demonstrate the method here. First, cut a 20 centimeter length of the yarn used for crocheting the crown and set it aside. For convenience in watching, the color is random. Take out the felt wool. Cut a 10 centimeter length. In this small sample, it's already cut. Roll it into a bundle. Leave about 2.5 centimeters at one end. Tie it tightly with the reserved yarn. Secure it with a knot. Then take the end that has been tied and insert it into the hole of the chain ring. Spread out the longer end. Lay it evenly on top of the crown. Tidy it up a bit. Just make sure it's roughly even. Apply a circle of glue around 4 to 5 rounds from the top. Press the arranged felt wool slightly to secure it in place. Finally, follow the raised edge around the crown and trim off any excess felt wool. This way, the top decoration is complete. Next, we'll make the hanging string. First, take out the corresponding color of yarn. Start with a slip knot. Crochet a braid about 20 centimeters long. Then join the beginning and end with a slip stitch. Secure it with one chain. Pull tight. And weave in the ends. This completes the hanging string. Set it aside for later use. Next, we'll make the pendant tassel. Take the sewing thread and insert it into a darning needle. Tie a knot with 2 strands. Make sure the knot is secure. Get the tassel ready. Attach the hanging string by tying it around the pineapple knot. Once completed, weave the excess hanging string inside the pineapple knot. Trim off the excess hanging string. Hide it inside the tassel. Then insert the sewing needle from the inside of the tassel knot, and exit at the top. Pass through the knot you made. Thread on 4 small white beads. Then pass through the bottom circular hole of the wood pendant. Back through the beads. Tie a knot. Hide the thread inside the beads. Trim off the excess part. Take 30 centimeters of sewing thread. Thread the needle and tie a knot. Pass through the top circular hole of the wood pendant. Back through the knotted loop. Then thread on 1 red bead and 5 small white beads. This makes 1 group. Repeat for 2 more groups. This completes the pendant tassel. Leave the remaining thread and needle attached to the tassel for now. Set it aside for later use. Next, we will assemble. First, take the crocheted hanging string, fold it in half at the knot position, then cut a 20 centimeter piece of thin wire. Thread it through the folded end of the rope where the knot is. Now fold the thin wire in half. With the folded thin wire, pass it through the largest white bead. The calyx. Insert the calyx from the indented side. Then thread it through a red bead. Followed by a medium white bead. The calyx again. Another red bead. And more medium white beads along with the calyx. Once done, pass it through the center of the wool felt. Continue threading until you reach the inside. Ensure the beads on the wire are tight against each other. Tighten the wire. Then make a small circle with the wire. Secure it to hold the beads in place. Cut off the excess wire. Take out the pendant tassel you made. From the position of the wire, from the inside out, exit through the top of the crown. Tie off and secure it between two beads. Hide the thread inside the beads. Cut off the excess yarn tails. That concludes the assembly explanation. Next, we will install the brim decorations. First, take out the yarn in the color used for crocheting the crown. The colors for the sample are random. Pull out one strand. Thread it into a darning needle. Then take out one of these metal motifs, with the top facing upward. Secure the bottom edge to the edge of the brim. First, weave in the yarn tail on the wrong side and tie a knot. Sew a few stitches through the motif securing hole, and the corresponding edge to secure it. There are no specific requirements. Just make sure it is secured tightly. After completing, tie off and cut the yarn. Weave in the ends. Next, take out the glue. Secure the upper area of the motif to the crown using glue. Then refer to the finished product on the motif, top, middle, and bottom, as well as both left and right sides. Glue half beads onto the middle area. Complete it on your own from here. This way, the emperor's crown has been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.